What's up, man?
What's up, dude? All right.
Yeah, dude.
What's happening?
You tell me, bro.
All right, so I know you've been killing me about getting out to the track. Come to a track day, I get it, but it's what I'm working with.
Oh.
You know, it's a stock bike. I don't know if it's really ready for the track. Like, can I get this thing on the track? I mean, it's not a super bike, dude.
Well, just a heads up, that's my bike. That's the Trackday's bike, and we ride this on the track as it is. Pretty easy, actually, right? So, yeah, if you take a look at this thing, it's totally stock. We still have mirrors on it. We still have the speedo. I took these turn signals off just because, but it still has the mud flap even. So I mean, yeah, okay, we did put slicks on it.
Yeah, I would say the tires are not tires.
But it's pretty straightforward to come to the racetrack. What do you think you need to do?
I mean, I've read you need to tape up your glass, sometimes remove your mirrors, tape up the headlights, stuff like that.
Okay.
I've heard about safety wiring. I don't know anything about safety wiring, but for beginners, I've also heard don't worry about it.
Well, I tell you what, man, the taping of the lights and the mirror stuff, it's pretty old school. Like Trackday's program, we don't really require a lot. We do require you to duct tape your mirrors or tape them over blue painter's tape or something. If you like, I could give you some.
Where's my X-Acto knife?
Yeah, so like you could tape up the mirrors. The only other thing we really need you to do is tape up your wheel weights. You know.
Oh, okay.
Because you want to make sure those things don't fling off onto the racetrack.
Well, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and as far as safety wiring, we don't require that. That's just something for the next level where you go racing.
Okay.
If you decide to go racing, you're going to need to drill holes in your bolts and run wire through it. But for a track day, the bike prep's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. We want to remove a lot of the barriers that people have to going to the racetrack in general, right? So for you, tape the mirrors, tape the wheel weights. Some organizations make you unplug the lights. We don't make you do that. Just a warning, the photographer, when they see the headlight coming at them, it could blur your shot and you might not look as cool in the photo.
Well, that's the most important part. If I don't look cool, I'm not coming to the fucking track.
Facts. Yeah.
That's no way. So we're taping the lights. We're turning them off.
You can tape them off. As far as the tail light goes, some people say they freak out with the brake light on, but it's like you don't freak out with the brake light on the street, do you? And
have you driven in Southern California? People freak out with the brake light.
That's a good point. It's been a minute since I've been a street rider.
So you're like, never? No.
I don't typically ride on the street, but when I did ride on the street, you know, seeing the brake light never really distracted me. And it shouldn't distract you on the racetrack. In fact, you could use that and be like, oh, that guy's braking now. You know, you could know when the person in front of you is going to the brakes. So yeah, it's not really that big a deal.
I never really understood that when you watch videos about track days and they talk about, oh, the brake lights are taping them up. And I'm like, well, for someone who's a beginner, it would actually be helpful to know. Yeah. Because I don't know necessarily what it looks like when someone's really hitting the brakes into a corner. Right. And your perspective is just so fast. And so it does like, wouldn't it just help amateurs like myself if we could see what the rider ahead of us was doing? Like, I don't know, it's like logically never quite clicked for me. Right.
And like I was saying with the old school aspect of that, you know, back in the day, the headlight and stuff, the glass was made out of glass. So if you hit the ground on this shit, you'd have like a bunch of glass on the ground. But now it's all like polycarbonate and all that.
We've got technology.
Yeah, so like, you know, typically we don't, not typically. I don't believe we ever see glass on the ground anymore. Like ever. Like we haven't seen glass on the ground since the 90s.
And those classic track
vintage.
days.
Come on, the vintage. Vintage. Yeah. So
cool. So what do we need to do? Do you want to go?
You're the rider, so you're gotta prep the bike. So I would say, you know, you gotta tape up your mirrors. Sometimes it's a good idea to run a strip of tape over your speedo. But if you have one of the new fancy digital iPod looking dashes like this guy does, like you may not be able to, but like the clock style tack and stuff, you could tape over the speedo and then, you know, not look down and think to yourself, oh my God, I'm going 100, and then shut the gas off, right?
Less distractions. That's less about, that's more about eliminating distractions.
Same thing with the mirrors. Like you're taping them up so you're not looking in them, looking behind you.
Never thought of it that way. I literally never thought about it.
Because when you're on the racetrack, what's behind you and what's in front of you, if you're looking at what's important, the things behind you are already behind you.
Right.
So you're kind of focusing your efforts forward, right?
Right. That makes all the sense.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense, and I've never thought about it that way. I've only ever heard about it as far as the glass considered.
Right.
I've never like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be paying attention to what's behind you.
Right.
That's up to the rider behind you.
Yeah.
Like he should be looking forward at you.
It's a passing rider's job to make a safe pass, right?
Right.
So you go, you ride your own ride, you have your efforts and energy focused forward, and you're not looking in the mirrors because you taped them up.
Say that again. It's the passing rider's responsibility to pass safely. Maybe we should tell that to Pecco and Alex Marquez.
Oh, shit.
So do you tape over the entire mirror, or do you just lay a piece
you know,
across it?
a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll run the tape over there, and then they run a little blade around the edge.
Oh, and they make it look nice?
So it looks nice. But for today's exercise, we're just going to go scumbaggy and just kind of cover the mirror surface.
Cover it up, make it look as good as you can with my expert taping job.
Yeah.
Look at that. Expert already.
Oh, dude, he's like factory. This is a factory tape job right there, bro. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get the other one, you know, because you can't just have...
You can't have any nice things.
Right.
So then we got, just throw tape, the distraction tape across the dash.
Well, you don't have to because, like I said, you got one of those fancy new ones, and you need to be able to see the tack and stuff. And you know, if you had the old circle clock style, you know, the tack on one side of the speedo on the other, you could cover up the speedo part and be cool. But on this thing, I guess you could run a little tape over the little zero there.
Yeah, you could basically put it
like 0 mile an hour.
You could like halfy it.
Something like that, yeah. You just need to be able to see the tack there, because you know, sometimes on that dash too, there's probably a gear position sensor that lets you know that you're in third gear or second.
Oh, my bike at home doesn't even do that. I'm always like, shift up, asshole.
Yeah, what bike is your bike at home?
I ride right now a CBR 500R.
Well, there's your problem right there.
Yes,
obviously,
I know that.
You're riding one of those Hondas.
Spoken like a true Yamaha. Yamaha soul. Nah, the pun there doesn't work.
No, dude, nah.
All right,
nah.
So then we've already taped the front wheel with this Pirelli sticker.
Well, I mean, like the number on the front that we put, that's kind of a Laguna Seca thing.
Oh.
But we like to do it because it also is a way to help market Pirelli for us. So
keep the tire people happy.
So it's like, oh yeah, when we run our stock bike at past the sound booth guy's like, oh, number 23, that dude's cool because he's still got a stocker.
Oh, okay.
See?
All right.
Yeah, you notice on this bike, it's totally stock. No pipe. We haven't even really adjusted the suspension on this thing yet. So
what else do I have to do to be track ready with this thing?
The wheel weights.
Where?
There's some right here, and it looks like the wheel weights may already be taped.
Oh, they look like they're already taped.
Yeah, look at that.
So I'll just pretend that I'm doing this.
Yeah, you're pretending. Yeah, your acting is stellar, bro. Yeah.
Action!
Yeah.
Oh, the wheel weights are taped.
Yeah.
Did a good job with that with my handy duct tape, and now we're going to the front. And I'll pretend over here too. Oh, I do have to pretend. They're right here.
Oh, look at that.
It's done.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah. Okay, so now this bike's ready to rock and roll, dude.
So I could go to the track right now.
Yep. You get the green flag, for sure.
So this eliminates a whole host of excuses why I've never come out.
Exactly.
And it's very upsetting to me.
Yeah? Yeah, you're gonna have to come up with a whole new sheet of excuses to not come to the track, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. Well, cool.
Next time.
Yeah, until next time.
Sweet, man. Let's get on the track. All right, let's do it. Fine.